Here's the script. Let me tell you something that took me a while to wrap my head around, and once it clicked, a lot of things made sense. Your body has a priority list. When something starts to go wrong with your circulation, your body doesn't treat every part of you as equally important, it triages. And the first thing it quietly sacrifices is the one thing most men over 50 are too proud to talk about. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you're going to understand why slightly high blood sugar, the kind your doctor waves off as nothing to worry about yet, may be the first thing chipping away at your vitality and what you can actually do about it. So let's start with that word triage. In an emergency room, when too many people need help at once, the staff make hard choices. They keep the heart going. They protect the brain. Everything else waits. Your body runs the exact same system every single day, and it's brilliant at it. When your circulation is under strain, your body makes a decision without asking you. It says, the brain stays online, the heart stays online, and the parts that aren't keeping you alive this very second, those get whatever blood is left over. From a survival standpoint, performance below the belt is, honestly, a luxury. Your body treats it as non-essential, so when blood flow gets tight, that's the first place it pulls back. Not because anything is broken down there, because your body is doing exactly what it was built to do, protecting the headquarters first. Now here's the part most men get completely backwards, and I'll admit, I had it backwards too. They think trouble with firmness is a problem that starts down there. It almost never does. It's a circulation message. It's your body's early warning light coming on. And to understand why, you need to understand one tiny molecule that runs the whole show. It's called nitric oxide. Think of your blood vessels as garden hoses. For blood to flow strong into any tissue, those hoses have to relax and open up wide. Nitric oxide is the signal that tells them to open. It's made right in the lining of your blood vessels, that thin, delicate inner wall called the endothelium. When you've got plenty of nitric oxide, your vessels open, blood rushes in, and everything works the way it did when you were 35. When nitric oxide drops, the hoses stay narrow and flow gets weak. Simple as that. Firmness, morning strength, stamina. That's not magic, it's plumbing. It's a blood flow event, start to finish. So what switches off your nitric oxide? Here's where the blood sugar comes in, and this is the key that unlocks everything. When your blood sugar runs even a little high, and I mean the pre-diabetic range your doctor might shrug at, that extra sugar floating in your bloodstream is rough on that delicate vessel lining. It irritates the endothelium, and it interferes with your ability to make nitric oxide. Less nitric oxide, narrower hoses, weaker flow. You don't need to be diabetic for this to be happening. Slightly high, year after year, quietly turns the dial down. And now here's the detail that ties it all together. The reason this hits your vitality first. The blood vessels that supply performance down there are small, much smaller than the big arteries feeding your heart, and small vessels show damage first. Think about it. If you've got a little rust building up in your plumbing, where do you notice it first? Not the big main line, the narrow pipes. The same thing happens in your body. That's why circulation trouble below the belt often shows up years, sometimes a decade, before anything goes wrong with the heart. It's not the embarrassing problem men think it is. It's the early warning signal. It's your body handing you a heads up while there's still plenty of time to do something about it. I genuinely wish more men understood that, because it reframes the whole thing from shame into information. Now let's talk about why this seems to come on faster after 50, because there's a multiplier effect here that's worth understanding. When you were younger, your body made nitric oxide easily and your vessels were springy and forgiving. As we age, natural nitric oxide production declines on its own. That's just the calendar. Now stack slightly high blood sugar on top of that natural decline, and maybe stack a little more belly weight, a little less movement, a little more stress, some poor sleep. None of those things alone would knock you flat. But they don't add up. They multiply. Age lowers your baseline. Sugar attacks the lining. Inactivity means less demand for flow, and each one makes the others worse. That's why a man can feel basically fine at 48 and then feel like a switch flipped at 56. It wasn't a switch, it was a multiplier quietly compounding in the background. Let me give you the real signs, the honest ones, so you can check yourself. Less reliable morning strength. That's often the very first whisper, because morning strength is a pure blood flow readout. Cold hands and feet, numbness or tingling in the toes, calves that ache or cramp when you walk any distance, slower healing on the legs, feeling winded going upstairs you used to take easy. These are all the same story told in different parts of the body. Flow getting tight in the small vessels first. And here's something you can actually do with me right now, today. If you've had blood work done in the last year or two, go pull it out. Pause this if you have to. I'll wait. Find the line that says fasting glucose, or look for a 1C. A lot of men have a fasting glucose sitting in the high 90s or low hundreds, or an A1C around 5.7 to 6.4, and they were told it's borderline. Keep an eye on it. If that's you, I want you to see that number with new eyes. That's not nothing. To those small vessels, that's the slow leak we've been talking about. Just knowing your number puts you ahead of most men. So what do you do about it? The good news, and this is genuinely good news, is that nitric oxide is responsive. Your body wants to make it. You mostly just have to stop getting in its way and give it the raw materials. Movement is the big one. When you walk, especially after meals, your muscles pull sugar out of your blood, and the flow itself signals your vessels to make more nitric oxide. A brisk 20-minute walk after dinner does double duty. Leafy greens and beets feed the nitric oxide pathway directly. That's not folklore. The research backs it. Cutting back on the sugar and the refined starch takes the pressure off that vessel lining. Strength work a couple times a week helps your body handle blood sugar better. And sleep, deep, real sleep, is when a lot of this repair happens. On top of the basics, there's a natural blood flow support I personally like for this. It's built around that nitric oxide pathway we talked about. I left it down in the description if you ever want to look into it. No pressure at all, honestly. The walking and the food matter more. It's just something I use. Now let me close the loop I opened at the start. Remember the triage. Your body protecting the heart and brain first and treating performance as the luxury? Here's the empowering flip side. That same triage system means when you improve your circulation, your vitality down there is one of the places you'll feel it come back, because flow returning to those small vessels is noticeable. The early warning light works in both directions. The same sensitivity that made it the first thing to fade makes it one of the first things to respond when you turn the situation around. I was skeptical that something this simple could matter that much, but the mechanism is just real. So don't read slightly high as a small problem you can ignore. Read it as your body being honest with you early while you've still got every advantage. Go look at your number. Take the walk tonight. And like I mentioned, if you want to check out the support I use, it's down in the description. This is general information to help you ask better questions, not medical advice. Your numbers and your medications are a conversation for you and your doctor. Take good care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.